just to give a little intro as to what we're doing. And it might be a little challenging for you to see me over here at the wall, but a lot of the times when we sit at our desks, this is what starts to happen. Does anybody do this at their desk? Yeah. And you start to lead with your head, and then your heart gets lost in the center of it. And so what I'm going to invite for you to do today is think about if you were sitting against a wall throughout your entire practice, and if you were to really strong, push your head back and allow for your heart to lift. Notice how much space I actually can get from my back to away from the wall. So when my head pushes back, my ears push back, it starts to strengthen the muscles of the entire spine. So the head moves back and the shoulders actually start to lift away from the wall. Head back, heart lifts. So head back and the heart lifts. And we're going to feel this several different ways in our practice today. And what's really fun is I love it, Chinese medicine, because that's what I always like to talk about. The heart is the house of the spirit. And when the heart finds itself irritable or too hot or ungrounded, then the spirit can't actually dwell within the heart. And so I like to think about my yoga practice, instead of my head leading my practice, I like to think about my heart leading my yoga practice. So wherever my heart goes, my head has to follow. So if I turn my heart, then my head starts to turn, versus getting all caught up in all the shiny things and looking with my head, and then all of my body is actually left behind. And so thinking about a heart-centered practice, a heart-centered life, and wherever it is that my heart goes, my body follows. Wherever it is that my heart goes, my energy goes. Wherever it is my heart goes, my thoughts start to go. So bring your hands, thumbs together and index fingers together, creating a triangle, and bring it to the center of your chest. And this is called Yoni Mudra. And Yoni is also symbolic of the feminine or the receptive mudra. And it's also in the shape of the pelvis. It's the shape of the womb. And this is the womb space of the heart here, right at the center of the chest versus down at the navel. Pull it up right into the center of the chest. So the palms would literally be covering the nipple line. And thinking about right here in the center of the breastbone. What's really fun about this, right in the center of the breastbone, we have this acupressure point called the Sea of Tranquility. The sea of peace. And wherever my heart goes, this is what I'm aiming for, is that my heart can allow for my spirit to dwell inside of me. My body can allow and become a deep vessel for my spirit to reside comfortably in. And I invite for this receptivity to my practice, for my spirit to enter. Where my heart goes, my body goes. And the first lineage of yoga that I really fell in love with was called Anusara Yoga. And Sara, Anu, Sara, it's two words. Sara means spirit. Anu means to step into. And so we step into the spirit. We step into the spirit, or we step into the current of our being. And that means that the current of you is different than the current of me. And different than the current of your spouse or your children. So we practice to become centered in our essence nature. Begin to activate your noisy exhalation, Ujjayi Pranayama. Noisy exhales. And deep inhalations. And we focus on our spirit coming home and our heart coming home. Now, come to a lying position on your back. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat to the ground. And again, bring that yoni mudra to the center of your chest. Thinking about the chest as leading the way. Push your head into the earth. And as you push your head into the earth, you'll feel the muscles of your neck engage, and your heart will actually start to lift. And on your exhalation, release the effort of your head and allow your shoulders to soften, your rib cage to soften. Inhale to press your head back. And as you push your head back, your shoulders actually will start to lift and your heart will start to lift towards the sky. And exhale, release the effort of the head. And just starting to turn on the muscles of the head, push the head straight back, imprinting into the earth, allowing for your spine to lift. And exhale, release the effort of the head. So same action, inhale to push the head back. As the head pushes back, the heart starts to lift, and exhale, release the effort of the head. One more time, push your head back. And as you push your head back, your neck gets strong, your chin slightly lifts. Exhale and release. Adding on, inhale to push your head back and then press your shoulder blades back. And as you push your shoulder blades back, your heart really starts to lift and your shoulder blades come into your spine. Exhale, release the head and the shoulders. A couple of times, inhale to push your head back, press your shoulder blades back, and your heart really starts to lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, head back, shoulders back, heart lifts. Exhale, release. Now one more time, inhale to push your head back and your shoulders back. Head back and shoulders back, lift your feet off of the ground and bring your knees over your pelvis. And you should start to feel a tremble down your spine, head back, shoulders back, and your heart is lifted. Your heart is open. And on your exhalation, let your knees go to the right, just 3-4 inches. Keep your head back and your shoulders back, your heart open. Bring your knees back to center. And let the knees move to the left just 2-3 inches, enough to make the core work, and you have to push through your right shoulder. Inhale, knees back to center, and knees move to the right. Head back, shoulders back, keeping the upper body steady. Bring the knees back to center and knees to the left. This is a core workout. Head back, shoulders back. Bring the knees back to center, knees to the right, through center, and knees to the left, back to center, and release your feet to the ground. Release the effort of your head and your shoulders. And you might start to notice a tingling down your head, down your neck, down your spine. One more time. Now inhale, push your head back, press your shoulders back. Head back and shoulders back. And as you do that, you'll feel an entire crevice, your spine lifting away from the earth and your heart lifting towards the sky. Take a deep breath into the center of your chest. Allow for the breastbone to open. Allow for the cage of your heart to expand. Pressing into your feet, press into your feet and lift your pelvis, bridge pose. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Head back, shoulders back, butt lifts, and then release your pelvis back down to the ground. Again, head back, shoulders back, press into your feet and lift your pelvis, bridge pose, and bring your pelvis back to the ground. A couple more times, head back, shoulders back, increasing weight on the head and the heart, releasing the pelvis to the ground. Now one more time, inhale to push your head back, press your shoulders back. Keep your chin slightly lifted and shift your weight over to your left foot. Draw your right knee towards your heart and lift your heart towards your knee. And as you lift your heart towards your knee, extend the right foot towards the sky. Ekapada, Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana. Ekapada, 1 foot, bridge pose. Release your right foot to the ground. Lift your left knee towards your heart. Push into your head, into your shoulders. Now lift your heart towards your knee and extend your left foot towards the sky. A lot of back body work, a lot of work leading with the heart. Allow for your foot to come down, your pelvis to come down, and pause. You can take yoni mudra, thumb together, index fingers together, and place it down at your pelvis, over your navel or at your heart, inviting in receptivity. Roll over onto your right side and press your way up to hands and knees, tabletop. And on your exhalation, round your spine. Take your gaze down into your heart, puffing up the back of your heart towards the ceiling. Inhale into your back bend. Lift your chin and lift your heart towards the wall in front of you. Exhale and round. Look down into your navel, rounding your spine. Inhale into your back bend, lifting your heart towards the wall in front of you. A couple more times, linking breath with movement, rounding your spine. Inhaling into your back bend, undulating through the spine. Now on your next inhalation, come to a neutral spine and step your hands wider than your mat so that your ring and your pinky finger come off of your mat. And then step your hands slightly forward in front of your shoulders, making for a long tabletop. And on your inhalation, sweep your forehead towards the ground and then your heart towards the earth. Belly then to the earth, cobra pose. And on your exhalation, press into your knees, lift your pelvis, and press back to your long tabletop. Hands are far in front of the shoulders, hands are wider than your mat. And on your inhalation, sweep your heart forward towards the earth. Let your heart dive towards the ground and rise to a very slow cobra. And exhale to press back to your tabletop, long tabletop. And we'll go 2 more times, sweeping your heart towards the earth. And then your belly lands for a low cobra. And 1 more time, pressing back to your long tabletop, and inhale to sweep your heart forward, then your belly lands on the earth, cobra pose. Take your hands even wider than your mat, come up onto your fingertips. Lower your forehead to the ground and your chest to the ground. And on your inhalation, allow the shoulder blades to come onto your back. And the exhalation, the shoulder blades come into the spine. And on your next inhalation, lift your breastbone off of the ground. And the head has no choice but to follow, but the gaze stays down versus at the wall in front of you. Awesome, and then lower your chest to the ground. Inhale to move and lift your chest away from the ground, and then the head has no choice but to follow. And lower the chest to the ground. Imagine that you've got an orange between your chin and your throat, and you're not gonna let that orange go. Inhale to lift your chest off of the ground, but keep the orange underneath your chin. And the neck stays long and lower down. And we're just gonna go 1 more time, spinal extensions. Inhale to lift the chest, move the ears back, and your heart lifts towards the wall in front of you. Plant your hands and press back to tabletop. Round your spine, look down into your heart. Inhale into your gentle back bend. Exhale to press back to a child's pose, buttocks to heels, forehead to the mat. Inhale, rise to a tabletop, hands and knees. And walk your hands towards the front edge of your mat. Walk your hands towards the front edge of your mat and straighten your arms. Walking your hands so far forward that your chest starts to work its way towards the ground. Lift your butt really high. Work your heart towards the ground and your hands far out in front of you. Puppy pose. This is a massive back bend, friends. If your heart doesn't come towards the ground, that's okay. Walking your hands out as far as they'll go. Keep your butt lifted really far and think about your belly button landing on your thighs and your chest towards the ground. I'm just gonna look into your practices here. Yeah, heart working towards the ground, tush is lifted really far, and try to get your belly button towards your thighs. Beautiful. Oof. Walk your hands back to a tabletop. It should be very much invited. Epic back bend. Round your spine, look down into your heart. Oof. Inhale into your gentle back bend. Exhale to round, look down into your heart. And inhale into your back bend. Come to neutral spine. Bring your right hand to the back of your head. Let it touch maybe the back of your head and your neck. Now look forward to the front of your mat and feel your neck, that you get like all these little wrinkles back there. So the neck is bent. Now look down into your belly, and then the neck rounds and flattens. So we're looking for a neutral spine. Take your gaze to be at your mat. And lift your head slightly into your hands. Sophie, you got it, sister. And Amy, lift your head a little bit more. Yeah. Head back. Yeah, try to hold that really heavy noggin up. You all have big brains. Okay. Now extend your right arm out in front of you and extend your left leg out behind you. Keep your gaze down at the ground. Keep your gaze down at the ground, and the head is lifted strong. And on your inhalation, take it out to the side. Left leg out to the left, right arm out to the right. Inhale yourself back to center. Keep your gaze at the ground. Bend your back knee, reach back and try to touch your foot. But keep your head on straight, friends. Inhale to extend front to back. Take it out to the side. Inhale, front to back. Bend your knee and try to reach back and touch your foot. So you're not grabbing, just simply touch it. Inhale and extend from front to back. Exhale, take it out to the side. Inhale, back to center and replace. Tabletop, hands and knees. Round your spine, look down into your organs. Inhale into your gentle back bend. And come to a neutral spine. Okay, left hand to the back of your head. The direction that your heart is pointing, your eyes are also going. Now look forward and notice that your heart doesn't go that way. And a lot of the times we do this in our practice. Let the head drop off and the head gets ripe like a mango. Bring the head back to neutral. Now push your head into your hands to lift the spine. Sophie, you look great. Amy, you're looking great. Gaze is at the ground. Take your left arm out to the left and extend your right leg out behind you. Excuse me, right leg out to the right as well. Okay, awkward airplane. Gaze is at the ground. Inhale yourself from front to back. Fingers reaching forward, foot reaching back. Bend your back knee, reach back and try to touch your foot, but keep your head on straight. Inhale and extend from front to back. Exhale, take it out to the side. Awkward airplane. Leg out, arm out. Inhale back to center. Bend your knee, reach back and touch your foot. Keep the head on steady, gaze at the ground. Inhale from front to back. Exhale, take it out to the side. Inhale yourself back to center. One last time, reach back and try to touch the foot. Oof. Plant your hands, round your spine, look down into your organs. Inhale into your back bend, and as your heart moves forward, your gaze moves forward. Press back to downward facing dog. And in your down dog, notice what has a tendency to happen in your practice. So some of us have a tendency to want to look forward to the front edge of the mat, and then you kink the back of your neck. Some of us have a tendency to let our head drop off like a ripe mango, and it collapses the heart. So allow for your head to actively grow out of your shoulders and curl your heart forward towards your thumbs, trying to find a back bend. And as your heart reaches for your thumbs, Your spine gets long and your heart gets strong. Your shoulders get strong. Looking good, Amy. Step your feet as wide as your mat. Bend your knees and walk your hands back one super slow palm print at a time. And just notice what your head wants to do. Notice that the head wants to collapse, dangle, and then collapse the heart, or excessively look forward and kink the neck. So see if you can actively just keep extending the head out of the shoulders. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or to your thighs if you have your blocks. Spinal extension. Bring your hand to the back of your head. Lift your head into your hand, and as you lift your head into your hand, curl your heart forward to the front edge of your mat. It's a back bend, spinal extension. Reach your arms straight out in front of you, lean back into your heels. Keep your head moving back and your heart lifting forward. Lean back into your heels and come all the way up to standing. Fingertips reach high. Hands journey into heart center. And step yourself forward to the front edge of your mat. Now, imagine that you have the wall behind your back, behind your head. Push your head back, and as you push your head back, your heart starts to lift. The rib cage starts to lift. The sternum starts to lift. The spine starts to lengthen. And then go ahead and place your hands out in front of you like you're typing at your keyboard, and allow for desk posture to invade your body. And notice that your heart collapses and your head starts to collapse, your belly starts to collapse, your shoulders start to collapse. Bring your awareness to your heart. Lift the heart, and as you lift the heart, the ears start to move back and the spine starts to grow long. Feel that again. Start to type out in front of you. Let your body collapse down towards desk posture. Bring your awareness to your heart and lift your heart. And as you lift the heart, the ears move back and the head comes on straight. Interlace your fingers behind your back and squeeze your elbows towards each other. Squeeze the elbows towards each other and allow for the tissue from the breastbone to spread all the way up through the shoulders. Step your feet as wide as your mat and bend your knees. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Lift your knuckles towards the wall behind you. Now stick your butt as if it's actually going to reach your hands. And as you do that, notice that your heart starts to move forward. Feel that for yourself. Heart moves forward. Move your ears back. Heart moves forward. Move your ears back. And as your heart moves forward, lift your arms a little bit more. Bend your knees and allow your belly to plop in between your thighs. Fold your chest between your knees, your head towards the ground, and your knuckles towards the sky. Now, friends, keep your belly on your thighs and lift just your chest. It's a deep back bend. Lift just the chest, and then take your gaze low. Exhale to your forward fold. Keep the hands bound, chest between the knees. Lift the knuckles. Inhale to keep the belly on the thighs. Lift just your chest. Lift just your chest. That's it, Amy. Keep going, keep going. It's a deep back bend. Exhale, forward fold, knuckles overhead. Release your hands to the earth. Bent knee, forward fold. Slide your hands up to your knees, your shins, or to your blocks. Lift your heart towards the front of your mat. Move your ears back, your shoulders back. It feels like a back bend. Stretch your arms out in front of you, lean back into your heels, and come all the way up to standing. Exhale your hands into heart center. Stretch your fingertips towards the sky. Exhale to your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to your spinal extension, hands up to your knees or to your blocks. Fold in, step your right foot to the back edge of your mat. Great. Now move your right foot back so far that your left knee comes right on top of left ankle. Left knee on top of left ankle. So the foot is in front versus behind the knee. So keep going, Sophie. And then release your back knee to the ground. Looking good, Amy. Great. Bring your left forearm up to your knee. Your right hand to the back of your head. Now, round your spine, look down into your heart. And as you look down, the head falls off. Now, inhale into your back bend, lift your heart, and as your heart lifts, your head moves back. Push your head back into your hand. Exhale and round, look down into your heart, and the head starts to drop off. Inhale into your back bend, lift your heart. Keep lifting your heart. Now stretch your left fingertips towards the sky and move your belly away from your front thigh. Reach both hands to the sky. Anjaneyasana, modified warrior pose. The tendency is to look up at the hands, kinking the neck, or to let the head be soggy, or the heart to collapse. We keep the heart lifting and the spine gets long. Keep your heart lifting, lift your back knee off of the ground. Crescent lunge, modified warrior pose. Looking good. Plant your hands, step your right foot forward, forward fold. Spinal extension lifts your heart. Fold in to float your left foot back. Slide your hands back to frame your front leg. Yeah, and then move your left leg back far enough to let your right knee come right on top of your right ankle. It's a long stance, front to back. Release your knee to the earth. Right forearm, left hand to the back of your head. Then around your spine, look down into your heart, and the head drops off the spine. Inhale into your back bend, your heart lifts, and then your head moves back. Feel it again, exhale to round. Inhale into your back bend. Keep the back bend. Lift the right hand towards the sky and pull your belly away from your front thigh. Head back, shoulders back, heart lifts. Left hand lifts, Anjaneya Asana. Head back and shoulders back. Imagine that your head is pushing into the wall and your heart lifts towards the sky. Lift your back knee off of the ground. Modified warrior pose. Choice is yours, friends. Plant your hands. Step forward. You can do cat-cow undulations, forward fold, downward facing dog, or child's pose. 5 rounds of breath. Step into the current of your being, into the practice of your body. Sometimes it's necessary to surrender your head to the earth. And sometimes it's necessary to allow for your heart to pour over your head. And sometimes it's necessary to just turn your world upside down and get a different perspective. We give that refuge to our spirit. We give that refuge to our body. And friends that are in a forward fold, step your right foot back to a lunge. Friends that are in a tabletop or in a child's pose, step your left foot forward and your right leg back. However we get there, left leg forward, right leg back, coming to a lunge. Now pad up your back knee. You can do that with maybe a blanket or a block, and bring your knee to the earth or to your, yeah, perfect, Sophie. If you're on carpet, you're gonna be fine. Slide your hands up to your front thigh. Now, friends, move your head back, move your heart back, and as you move everything back, your entire spine starts to lift. You get very upright in your posture. Keep pulling your heart back and your head back. Open the arms out to the side, palms to face up, as if you're carrying 2 trays in your hands. And I like to think about chocolate in those trays. Squeeze your shoulder blades into the back of your heart and lift your heart towards the sky. And as you lift your heart towards the sky, take your gaze down your nose and make the front of your neck long. Now bend your back knee. Reach back with your right hand and hold your ankle. Now notice as you start to get for that ankle, what happens to your head, what happens to your heart. Everything starts to collapse. So lift the heart back up, move the ears back, and allow for the center of your chest, the sea of tranquility, to start to lift towards the wall in front of you and towards the sky. Now push your butt back towards your heels and continue to lift your heart. Pull your heel towards your tush. Keep a hold of your foot. Allow for your left knee to bend and move your entire body forward. Beautiful. Plant your foot, your hand, step your right foot forward, forward folds. Spinal extension on your inhale. Fold in. Step your left foot back. Now move your left foot back far enough to really allow for that long stance from front to back. And then release your knee to the earth. Find padding for your knee. If the stance is too short and the knee is under the pelvis, then you're going to end up right on your kneecap. That's going to be a little uncomfortable. Slide your hands up to your thigh. Open the arms out to the side. Squeeze the shoulder blades into the back of your heart. As you squeeze the shoulder blades, the breastbone starts to lift, the ears move back, the entire spine lights up. Now bend your back knee. Reach back with your left hand and hold the ankle. And as we get a hold of that foot, the tendency is to go, I need to conquer this, and then everything falls apart. Bring yourself back to the lift of your belly away from your thigh, the lift of your heart towards the sky, and the length of your spine. Right fingertips can lift. Anjaneya Asana. Keep the belly toned. Lunge yourself forward. Right knee moves forward. Allow for your entire body to move forward. Hands can stay towards the sky, on your knee, maybe on the earth. Beautiful. Please plant your hands, step your right foot back, plank pose. Lower your knees to the earth. Long tabletop, knees to the earth. Yep, Sophie, you'll want to get rid of that blanket. And lower just your chest. Keep the butt lifted. Lower just the chest. Oh my gosh. Now, friends, yeah, you might have to kind of wiggle around a little bit to see if you can get your breastbone to find the ground. Come high onto your fingertips outside of your mat. Squeeze the shoulder blades into your back. Press your heart towards the earth. Notice the tendency to want to look up to the front edge of your mat. Just simply lift your nose away from the mat. Butt is lifted, heart is pressing, ears are back. Then lower your chin, lower your belly, lower your forehead to the ground. Prop up onto forearms. And then bend your right knee. Reach back with your right hand and grab your ankle. Easier said than done, right? Now, bend your right knee and actually bend your right elbow and start to work your heel towards your tush. And right now, your belly is probably shoving into the ground. So bring a gentle engagement of your belly lifting away from the earth, and then your heart will lift away from the earth. Move your head back, move your shoulders back. Now go ahead and get it out of your system. Look forward and feel what that feels like in your neck. Go ahead and look forward. Yep. This is what we do a lot of the times in back bends. And then let the head drop off like a ripe mango and notice how the heart actually gets soggy and the shoulders get soggy. Now move the head back, move the shoulders back. Great. Extend your right leg, come back up onto forearms. Bend your left knee. Reach back with your left hand and grab your ankle. Working the heel towards the tush. Now the tendency is once we start reaching for that foot, we start to lose the alignment of our heart. We start to lose the attention or the focus of our practice. Pull your heart back into your body. And as you pull your heart back into your body, your belly starts to strengthen, your shoulders start to lift. Move your ears back. Great. And release. Alrighty, friends. This next practice is 100% about you being honest with yourself. I have to trust you. So you can do the same thing that we just did. Prop up onto forearms, reach back and grab the ankle, and work on opening the thigh. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can bend both of the ankles, reach back and grab the hands. Now the tendency is, if we reach back with both hands, is to look to the wall in front of us and notice what happens to my voice. And that feels terrible on my neck. But then I go, oh, well, then I'm going to relax my head, and then my head drops off like a ripe mango. No, it's like Goldilocks. It's the one right in the middle. It's not dropping off. It's not looking forward. It's allowing for the neck to be long. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Lift the heart, and the head moves back. Not the head, the heart. And then we may rock over onto our right side. And then we may rock over to our left side. I'll walk you through it. Choice is yours. Either way, you're going to be holding one ankle. If you're going to prop up onto forearms, grab your right ankle. If you are going to rock from side to side, grab both ankles. I'll coach you through it. I can't see you, Lisa. Sophie, please squeeze your knees towards each other. Let the thighs touch. Yes, your guys' necks are looking good. Squeeze the shoulder blades onto your back and rock over to your right shoulder. Yep, it's like a little Weebles wobble, and you do fall over. Yep. Okay, Sophie, looking good, sis. Squeeze the elbows towards each other and then lift your breastbone towards your chin. And as you lift your breastbone towards your chin, your entire spine starts to get long. Amy, bend your elbows. Yep, bend the elbows even a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Move the heart back, move the shoulders back. And instead of the back bend coming from the neck, it comes from the lifted heart. Roll back to center and rock over onto your left side. Rock it, rock it, rock it. Whoop. And then you make it. Awesome. And then lift your heart towards your chin. Grow your spine long. Keep growing the spine long. Looking good, Isabel. Head back, shoulders back. Belly is strong. Roll back over onto your belly. Oof, and release your hands. Plant your hands, press back to a tabletop, round your spine, look down into your heart. Inhale into your gentle back bend, and happily swing your right knee, right shin forward for a pigeon prep. Pigeon prep. So the difference between this pigeon and other pigeons is we're not going to bring the right shin forward. We're going to keep the right thigh touching the lower leg. and come up onto the top of the shin bone, working your right heel towards your pubic bone and your right knee out to an angle. Like there's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So looking for about that 2 o'clock. The heel is in your pubic bone or your bladder, and the knee opens out to the side. Then tuck your back toes under. So you're not on the shoelace side of the foot, but you're on the toe pads. Yes, you guys are looking great. So the tendency is to do sleepy pigeon here and the pose starts to fall apart. We're gonna keep ourselves lifted. So this is totally legit. Stay here up on your fingertips. You can bend your back knee. Oh goodness. Walk your hands to the inside of your right thigh. Walk your hands to the inside of your right leg. Yep. Most of us will need to be on our fingertips. If you are fortunate enough to have blocks, absolutely come up onto your blocks. Left hand, wiggle your left fingers. Identify which one your left hand is. Reach back and grab your left ankle. Now, what has a tendency to happen here is for our head to take over the pose. Square your heart forward. And then move your shoulder blades towards your back foot. Move your shoulder blades towards your back foot. Move your head back. And with each inhalation, there's a natural lift to the shoulders. And each exhalation, the shoulder blades descend down the back. We're just going to be here for like 500 rounds of breath. So just get comfortable. Yeah. Each inhalation, there's a natural rise, and each exhalation, there's a natural opening. And instead of thinking about the head looking up, think about the ears moving back, the heart and the gaze shining in the same direction. You may keep a hold of your foot and lower down towards your forearm, or you may stay lifted, or you may release your back foot. So wherever you are, you're on the top of your left thigh versus the side of your left thigh. And I'm just gonna check in on your practices here. So Sophie, lean more towards your left leg. Bring your right arm to the inside of your right leg. And then lean even more into your left leg. Yep. I know, it's a huge thigh stretch. Now, as we enter here in this forward fold, continue to lift your heart towards the front of your mat. Yeah, that's it, Amy. And then Isabel, since you don't have your ankle, you can release your foot and just work the mechanics of your heart lifting. That's totally legit. Beautiful, and switch it out. Left knee, left shin forward for pigeon prep. Left knee, left shin. Keeping the lower leg and the upper leg married instead of trying to get the shin to the front edge of the mat. So keeping these legs married together, lower leg and upper leg. Work the left heel towards your pubic bone or towards your bladder. Left knee is out at an angle. Tuck your right toes under. Yeah, and just settling into the first phases of your pigeon prep. Full king pigeon, as we bend the knee, we reach back and the foot is on the back of the head. Yeah, so this is just a pigeon prep. Now pull your belly back and lift your heart. And as you lift your heart, the head moves back. Bend your back knee, reach back and hold your ankle. Hi, hi, hi. So I find more stability with the hand on the inside, the left hand on the inside of the left leg. Hand can come to a block, lift you up a little bit further. Working the heel towards your tush. Move your heart back, move your shoulders back. We just groom the soil of our body to allow for life force to move through us. Now, you may keep a hold of your ankle and then fold your left forearm to the ground. And instead of flapping to the ground, so it's not a floppy, sleepy pigeon, the heart continues to work its way long to the front edge of your mat. The spine stays long. And your gaze will stay down at the ground, probably at your hand. Head stays back, shoulders stay back, heart stays lifted. Working weight towards the right knee, the right thigh. The tendency is going to fall towards the left hip. So you'll just keep working it towards the right. Great. And release happily. Make your way onto your back. Make your way onto your back. Bend your knees and bring your feet flat to the ground. And let's check out all of the work that we've done. Push your head back into the ground, and as your head pushes back, your shoulders lift. And then push your shoulder blades back into the ground. Head back, shoulders back. Press into your feet and lift your hips, bridge pose. Now, friends, rock over to your left shoulder, wrap your right shoulder under. Rock over to your right shoulder and wrap your left shoulder under. You just kind of inchworm your shoulders underneath you. Keep your chin lifted. Bind your hands behind you if that's an option. If it's not, just grab the sides of your mat. Head back, chin stays lifted. Shoulders back, heart is strong and engaged. Hands are bound. Shift your weight to your left foot. Right knee comes towards your heart. Lift your heart towards your knee and extend your right foot towards the sky. Ekapada. Setubandha, Sarvangasana. Right foot comes to the ground and extend your left foot towards the sky. Lifting your heart towards your foot and your foot extends. Release your left foot to the ground. Release your hands. Lower your tush. Coming back to Yoni Mudra, thumb together, index finger together, making a triangle. And plant your hands right in the center of your chest. Invite for the spirit of your being to dwell in this very open, receptive heart. Yoni Mudra. Choice is yours. You can gather yourself up into a tight ball, holding your shins, or hands can come to the soles of the feet, going into half happy baby, or feet can stay on the ground and knees can fall into each other, constructive resting pose. A symmetrical pose for the end of your practice, your way. So tight ball, hands over your shins, or hands to the soles of your feet, or feet on the ground and knees falling into each other. Bringing your head to center. Bring a gentle press of your head into the earth, your shoulders into the earth. And release all of your effort into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. A pose of no effort. A pose of just simply being. And as you lay here on the earth, the side profile of your body, your heart is the highest. And in the center of your chest is the sea of tranquility, the sea of peace. Bring a gentle press of your shoulder blades into the earth, elevating your heart. Push your head back, strengthening your spine. Invite this muscle memory into your body. And slowly bend your knees. And making your way towards your right side. Lazily getting there. And letting your heart pour towards the ground. And using your hands to catch you. And slowly pressing. Slowly pressing your way up to a seat. And we bring left hand and right hand together at heart center to Anjali Mudra, the hand symbol for the heart. A gesture to take what is on the inside and share it with all of life's poses. Thank you so much for taking time out and creating wellness for yourself today. Have a wonderful evening. Namaste.